Well, people always say it will demand more of the leader. And I don't know that, and I think that kind of cuts off and doesn't recognise the challenges that the world's been through, especially over the last sort of 10, 15 years, and the growth of ASEAN to date. So I think that the future will be different, but I think it will be a nice progression from what's happened in the past. And I think that it will be interesting, it'll be exciting, it'll continue to be fast. The skills of a future leader would include intellectual horsepower, I think curiosity, a willingness to learn, some openness to diversity, new experiences, new things. I guess my view is that it would be a more global view as well. And so that's why I mention openness as well and curiosity. I think the ability to adapt quickly to not only economic situations, but just, context. Because, you'll be talking to a group of people who may think a different way, who come from a particular background, and then you talk to someone else. And that'll happen quickly within an hour. I mean, it's even at this conference, you talk to people from different industries, from different backgrounds, different levels of education, and just continually adapting. And I think that the agility of a future leader will require those types of skills. Internal strategies will depend on the company. So if I talk in the context of my personal experience, there isn't enough investment dollar to go around for everyone. So I think it will be differentiated. I think that a group of high potentials will be identified, and investment will go into those people, into that pool of people. And that development activity could be, a whole host of different things. But I think the internal strategy will start to be differentiated. Well, and I think in most organisations it is. It's not a vanilla one size fits all kind of an approach, right? So I think that strategy will continue. And I think that there will be, and I know from my organisation and my personal experience, it's just becoming more and more challenging to find global leaders. And I think to encourage that level of cultural sensitivity through, acquiring talent, developing talent, and recognising those people who do have the ability to cross cultural boundaries, I think will be more important as well. That's sort of two off the top of my mind, but yeah. It can range from tools that help with, the acquisition stage of bringing in talent. So tools might be technology, social media, using social media like LinkedIn and other things to find talent. And then using, I never really want to step away too much from the traditional tools, just, basic behavioural interviewing. I think, doing that well is something that's here to stay, because I see an inherent value in that. Tools within the organisation, I think, organisations may sort of be attracted to smart and sexy ideas when it comes to communication within the organisation, using different sorts of instant messaging, funky devices, those kinds of things. Look, I think that's very attractive. Other tools in terms of sort of identifying future potential could be traditional assessment tools. And, again, how much do you want to spend? But I still think that sort of overlaid with, good leadership and good management. So I think that there's some fundamental things. So whilst you have all these tools that you can buy off a shelf, I think that the ability of somebody, of a leader, to develop the right culture that encourages and develops talent is still core to a future organisation, regardless of what, tangible tool you might bring into the organisation, regardless of what science you bring into an organisation. So I still think that there are some maybe rudimentary tools. I still call them tools, but I think those sort of basic principles remain like your hygiene factors. Really, I think that they're sort of here to stay.